David, welcome.
My heart is racing, bro.
I know, me too.
I'm actually nervous.
This is the Thickest Thieves podcast. I'm Nate Rose.
I'm David Piersaul.
And we're hooked up to an electrocution machine.
Yeah, he's already...
John Machina.
It's a period cramp simulator. Aliki has put us in a saw contraption, apparently, for this episode.
Yeah.
But truth is, bro, I think women are kind of soft, so I think I got this.
Okay.
I'm just a little nervous, though, because, like...
If it hurts, then,
like,
you're gonna be
I
checked?
got to get on my knees and tell Kedin that she was right all along when I was giving her crap.
Okay. All right, let's get it.
Okay, so you guys already know we're breaking out the period cramp simulator. We're gonna see how you handle pain, and we're gonna do that by figuring out how much you guys know about movies and music. So, on this period cramp simulator, there are 8 levels of intensity. We're gonna start you both at level 1. So go ahead and turn it to level 1.
Wait, does it start immediately?
It does, dude.
Is there a button that you...
As soon as you turn it to level 1.
Wait, you want to do mine first?
No, bro, I'm open. They're both on the top.
I don't trust this man,
bro. You better relax.
See how quickly you reach for that? Bro, why my heart? Aliki, I don't like this at all. Wait, so... Okay, yeah.
You feel it?
Is it? Let me see. Oh, we didn't turn them over yet. The knobs.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I turned it to 1. I haven't felt anything yet.
Oh, I guess y'all soft.
Did you feel something? Did you feel
I
something?
don't feel nothing. Y'all soft.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a category. You're going to go back and forth listing items in that category. Once one of you can't think of an item or obviously list something that's wrong, doesn't belong in the category, then the other person's going to turn the intensity up on you. First person to level 8 is the loser and has to remain on level 8 for the next 10 minutes of the podcast.
Back and forth like it's bad.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Oh.
Next 10 minutes?
Yes.
That's easy stuff. Come on now.
Oh.
I'm lactose intolerant, so my stomach been bubbling. Let's run it.
Okay.
One thing about me, bro, I got IBS, bro, so
You guys ready for your first category?
Yeah, let's run it.
let's get it.
Let's play rock, paper, scissors to see who
Really?
gets
Starts
to
it
go
out.
second, because that's a benefit.
Really? The
Going
king
second?
Of, the king
Going-
of rock, paper, scissors is right here.
Going second's a benefit? All right, on shoot.
Well, I
Rock,
guess
paper,
whoever
scissors,
wins-
shoot. I see. Sometimes he's the king, bro. He
whoever
executes.
wins, you can pick if you want to go first or second then.
I ain't never lost.
Pick.
I mean, bro, I'm going first.
Go ahead. You-
Okay, directors.
Steven Spielberg,
Tarantino.
Christopher Nolan.
Robert Rodriguez.
What's that dude's name? De Toro? Guillermo? How do you pronounce his name?
I don't know. He's a director.
That's the
I've never
Toro.
heard of that one.
Yeah, yes, you have.
What did he say?
Huh?
What'd you say?
What's his name? Guillermo? Is that right?
You got it right. That's right. Damien Lindelof.
Jordan Peele.
Ooh, good one. Daniel Radcliffe. Okay, turn me up.
Oh, it's on top.
I was talking about the Daniels brothers and I messed up.
You said Daniel Radcliffe, Harry
Yes,
Potter?
I
That
know.
boy? I was about to say Nate Rose, so.
Did it feel different?
I don't feel anything.
Okay, well, let's keep going. Let's do albums by Drake.
Albums, come on, it's him.
Albums by Drake.
I should have got the director one though.
Who's starting this one out?
Views.
Scorpion.
Views from the 6. I'm terrible at this. I'm terrible at this, bro. I get nervous. I'm too nervous.
I'm nervous too.
All right, I need to relax. I'm
about
not
to go
taking
to
that
3.
L on this. Oh, I felt it on that one. Yo, 3 is different.
3 is
Yo, 3
different?
is different. What is this? I don't like that at all. That is not. That's a 3? It just makes me feel very uncomfortable.
I'm scared. David, I'm scared.
Okay, here we go. The third category is movies with monsters.
Godzilla.
King Kong.
Monsters, Inc.
That's a very good one. Meg.
Rampage.
Sharknado. Come on. No, I got you. I'm turning it up. Oh, bro, I do not like this at all. It's so uncomfortable. All right, there you go. You feel anything? Is this good for my stomach, Aliki? Did you do research? All right, let's move on.
It had like 1.8 stars on Amazon. So I'm sure it's fine.
It makes me anxious.
1.8 stars.
Okay, the next category is songs about love.
Songs about love.
Oh, Love by Kendrick. Try again.
Oh my God! Like, there's so many songs about love.
Nick,
Um,
you're taking
Turn me up, bro.
Yeah, I know you.
Oh, no,
Come
no,
on,
no.
let's go.
You know
that
why?
man ain't got no loving spirit, bro. I could have named every gospel song I know. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Let's go.
Woo!
Yeah, we both on our period.
Okay, the next
Wait,
category.
wait. I can feel it pulsing through my stomach.
Yeah, I don't
hair,
like that.
bro.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like it.
No, I can feel all my hairs.
I do not like this. I can't relax.
Well, I didn't even feel it at 2, but now it's just
I
constantly.
feel like it's just making me realize how much fat is just gyrating right
I
there.
think this is gonna make me sweat, bro.
Maybe you'll have abs by the end of this. Who knows?
I don't think that if that does it, then
Okay, here we go. Movies with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oof. All right. Titanic.
Shutter Island,
The Revenant.
Wolf of Wall Street,
Django.
Inception.
Oof, that's a good one. DiCaprio movies. Do I have a timer?
Get him out of here.
Ah!
Get him out of here.
It's harder when you like. I know you're watching this. Oh shoot! Yo, that's a 4? No, Aliki. This is different, bruh. No,
Bro,
There's not-
my
if that's a
palms are
4?
sweating.
this can't be good for you. This can't be good for you. I feel like I'm gonna get sick.
I'm on a.
To go just up to 5.
I don't know. Let's find
I don't
out.
know.
I don't know. I mean,
I'll rip it off before, but it's also 3M tape at the end of it. So if I
That's
rip it
true.
off, it's gonna take off my skin. I still am getting.
wait. By the way, hold on. Let me just give you the tempo this is pulsing at.
Yes, it's consistent. Is there like a tempo change?
There is a tempo change.
Okay, can we do the tempo different? Because I can't bear it, bruh. And I also feel like something's messing
No,
up.
no, we should leave it. We
I
should
feel
leave
like
it. We should leave
something's
it.
messing
We
up.
should leave it. We should leave it. We
No,
should
I'm
leave
not
it.
talking about that's not messed up. I'm messing up.
Just go.
Okay, the next
Is this good for
category
you?
is Songs by Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, humble.
Oh man, love.
Good kid.
That's not the name of the song.
Yeah. There's a song called Good Kid.
Is it? Okay. If These Walls Could Talk.
Mad City.
Good one. Good one. Compton.
Master Splinter.
Ooh, that's not what it's called.
Shireen's Daughter.
There you go. About to say. All right. Let's see. Lust.
Father Time.
Fear.
Pride.
Oof. Good one. Good one. Good one. Good one. DNA.
Turn me up. Turn me up.
Ooh, I'm taking that beat to 8. No, I'm joking. I got you. There's
Oh.
4. You see what I'm saying?
no, dude.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. There's-
No, we can't
that's
go
half-
to 8.
No,
dude.
we can't, dude. That's halfway there. That's not what y'all experience during periods. This is something different.
What are you like?
No, dude.
We're on 4, both.
Yo.
You see what I'm saying?
Yo, we gotta tap out, bruh. I can't go to 5.
No, we're going to 5. We got one more round.
Oh my god.
One of us is experiencing. It's probably going to be me.
Okay, here we go. Movie quotes.
Bro, what the? I just let you get Kendrick for the clip.
Movie quotes?
Movie quotes?
Oh my
Come on,
gosh.
you guys quote movie. Come on.
All right, go ahead.
You came all this way. You came all this way. Ain't nothing gonna bring your boy back.
That's not the end of it.
It's actually none of the
You got to
middle
say the
of
whole
it.
script. That's a quote. All right. I think I'm back. John
that?
Wick.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
That's a good one. My name is, but don't call me Cheryl. I don't know the quote. Turn me up.
Oh,
Turn me up.
no.
I forgot. Why is it so hard when you're on pressure? I could quote a movie
Yo,
for
hey,
days.
yo, this is
I might tap out after this though.
to 5.
Okay, I'm done. Oh shit. It's on my finger. No, dude. No, it turns into ow. It get on my finger for a second. It vibrates.
No, it's too much.
No, you
it's
won.
too much.
You won. And I have to wear. Can I put it at like 2 for the 10 minutes?
No.
You can put it back at 3 for
No,
5
4.
minutes of the episode.
4. You gotta be at 4.
Bro, you don't understand. Turn it off for a second. You do not understand. 5, it turns from a pulse to a shock. Remember?
Nate,
I'm going to 5.
for us.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh
see? You see?
no, dude! What the f,
We're,
bro?
we're not even trying to.
No, I'm not even playing
If
it
you're
up,
watching
dude.
this right, we're not trying to amp up the podcast.
Yo,
This is
cannot
different.
do it on 8. No, this is way worse. Also, it might be because it's on our stomach.
I will say that.
If it was maybe on my.
If it's like, dude, that's what I think. That's what it is.
No,
Because
dude.
physical therapists apparently use these for muscle treatment. Aliki, are you cool with though? Like, just if I take this home after this.
Well, what are you
All
gonna
right,
do?
look,
Put it on my cheeks and see if I can.
I'm taking
gyrate.
it. I'm just taking this.
Oh, yeah.
Can I take it off and? Oh yeah, I can't.
All right, I'll put it on. Imagine putting this on your temples.
Dude, and also it's pulsing so fast that it's like you don't get a chance to just relax.
Dude, it's on still, I think. Dude, I don't know how.
what?
A leak
How could you survive 8? I didn't feel 1 or 2. Then 3, you feel it. Then 4, it's like very uncomfortable. You got to turn it to 4.
It turns on automatically without like telling you though. Hold on, give it a second. It's on burst mode. That's why.
Put it on 4. Oh, bro, I'm
right.
scared.
It's on.
That was scary.
It's on 4. Okay.
Okay, I'll start your 5 minutes.
Okay, listen. I thought you said 10 minutes.
I'm trying to be nicer.
10. He can handle 4 for 10 minutes.
I already accepted 5 though.
5.
She said it.
No, 5 I could not do for 10 minutes. All right, look.
Hold on, I got to move this lower. I think it's starting now.
As scared as I was going into this game, I want to tell you about the time that I was the most scared.
Okay.
And it's not an amazing story, but it is the only time that I have ever... you good, bro?
I'm listening to your story, bro. Keep moving, bro.
All right, look. So
Don't acknowledge it.
one time I was living at the crib in Murfreesboro when I was in college.
I'm listening, bro. I promise.
I'm distracted, bro. You gonna have to hold. Do one of these, bro.
Hey, stop playing with me, bro.
Hey, boss up on him right. Yeah, boss up on him right quick. Yeah.
What's up?
All right, look. So I was making the hardest beat I have ever made for 4 hours straight. I had headphones on, so I got an interface that allowed you to play in headphones, and then I turned my speakers up. I
Yeah.
got big 8-inch speakers that blast through the house. So when I started the beat, I put a choir sample in there. It was like a woman doing like a crazy choir run, and I started building drums around it. And eventually I just muted that track because I went a different direction with all the melody that I put over top. So, 2 hours later after that point, I have this build up to this drop that's so heavy and epic. And I'm like, all right, it's time to show my friend Charlie, who was living in the house with me at the time, it's time to show him
like
this
him.
record that I made.
Yeah.
So I put the headphones down. I'm like, bro, listen to this. And I turn the volume all the way up on the speakers. I'm waiting for the drop that I've been listening to for the past 4 hours. And as soon as it drops, somehow the choir, like the choir layer got unmuted. And it's a different key. So it's like dissonant. And it hits, there's this screech. And I remember like a shock went through my entire body.
Right.
And I could not move. I
Said
think
a shock-
my
you said a
brain
shock went through your body.
Yeah. And yeah.
That sounds. No.
I'm gonna turn it
no,
up to
I'm
8.
putting it over here, bro. If you put it on 8, we're swinging.
I was paralyzed in fear. I had never felt that my entire life. And after that, I just started laughing. And I had to catch, it took me like 3 minutes to catch my breath, bro.
That's terrifying, actually.
Yeah, anyway. You got a scary story like that?
I do got a scary story. I'll try to tell it through the pain. So this is actually one of the few scary stories I have. The other one is like when I, had a near-death experience and went to hell. I won't tell that one. No, I'm joking. That didn't happen.
Wow.
Anyways, no, I had an experience, bro. I was at the house. This is when I was in high school. I was at the house, right? Listen up. 4 a.m., summer night. You stay up to 4 a.m. I was playing the video game in the living room. My dad, for some reason, let me put the TV on the game on the living room TV. It's 4 a.m. I had a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. I decided to take a break and watch some YouTube. I'm sitting there, and my dad had wooden floors. And I'm sitting there just like chilling. I'm sitting just like this, eating pebbles, and the TV's like over here, so I'm looking at it like this. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a bump hit the floor so hard that my feet bounced up. Oh, shoot. Have I not told you the story before?
No.
My feet bounced up, bro. They bounced up, and I was like, my initial reaction wasn't to think of the obvious. My initial reaction was like, bro, what is that? And it was super late and dark outside. So I run to my dad's bedroom, and I'm like, yo, I'm telling him he has work in the morning. He's like kind of discombobulated. He's like, yo, so he works for Charter. At the time, it was Charter, now Spectrum. So he goes outside, crawls under the house. He's used to doing stuff like that. There's no animal or anything. But there's context, though. A couple weeks prior to that, me and my dad had an argument. We had an argument about the lights being turned on in the house. Because the first day, the light was on, and he was like, you need to start turning these lights off before you go to sleep. And I was like, okay, cool. I turned it off. The second time it was on, again, when he woke up, he goes, boy, what'd I tell you about turn the lights off? And this time I'm like, okay, maybe I just really forgot again. But I'm like, this is weird because I remember turning the light off.
Yeah.
And Then the third time, the kitchen. I was going to sleep late, and I was like, I don't want to get in trouble because he was saying I was gonna be grounded from the game if I don't start turning the lights off. So I went through the house before I went to sleep, and I turned every light off in the house, every single one, and went to sleep. Woke up, I got in trouble, and he was like, "You're gonna be grounded." And I told him, I was like, I promise you, I turned the lights off in this house. And he said, he goes, it's just me and you here. Like, he's being logistical like a dad does, right?
Yeah.
He goes, just me and you here. So who turned the lights off? And pretty much he didn't ground me from my game, but I remember getting reprimanded. The fourth time it happened, he only believed me because this time I was staying at a friend's house and he turned the lights off and woke up in the middle of the night.
Oh, wow.
And the light in the kitchen was on. He turned it off.
No, sir.
Walked away. As he's walking away, he heard the switch flip again. Turned back, it was on.
Yo, nah.
My dad's a very religious guy.
That's a big no for me.
He's a very religious guy. He starts praying. Okay, cool. Whew. He's a very religious guy, right? He starts praying, calls me later on the next day, tells me about it, and he proceeds to tell me about the haunting of 1703 South Meade Circle in Cleveland, Tennessee. Y'all know my address now, to the 73 people watching. All right, so this is apparently a thing in our family. People don't stay at our house, family members, because it's a haunted house, right? So I know you got some more stories to tell because I want to hear them, but my dad told me his scariest story that day, and he told me about, first he used it as a teaching lesson about Jesus, but he started off with, he grew up in that house with his mom, single mom. And
the same house that he lives in now?
Yeah. The first time that he experienced the haunting of that house was when he worked at Duracell, the battery company, right? He was coming home late from work, walked in the door, all the stuff was, all TVs, all the lights were off. He came in, went straight into what was my current bedroom at the time, but his bedroom when he was a kid. He went in there, right? And in there they had a couch, a bed, and a TV. And he seen his mom, my grandma, sitting on the couch watching TV, and he was like, man, he was working the night shift. He's like, I'm so exhausted. They had a very close relationship. He lays down and puts his head in her lap, and she starts playing with his head and like massaging his head. And they're just talking about work and stuff. And he says that all of a sudden, the hands that were wrapping around his head, which he thought to be my grandma, started to squeeze really hard, and he couldn't get out. And he, with all his strength, he pulled out and got up and didn't look, just ran into my grandma's bedroom where she was asleep. And he told her about it, and they anointed the house and prayed over it.
That is insane.
I'll tell you later about the rest of the story, but that's not the only time we see doppelgangers in the house. I have personal friends, family members who all seen doppelgangers in the house, and the ghost always resembles people that lived there. One time it was me, and you know how I feel. You know how I feel when someone tries to jack my style.
Yeah.
Anyways,
what do you say to the people that when you jack their style?
I go, I'm a big fan.
Okay, this one happened to me and Greg.
Let's check these out.
No, go ahead. This one happened to me and Greg recently.
And Greg?
Yes. I wouldn't say I was that scared, but it's unexplainable.
Okay, what's up?
So we were sitting on my back porch. We were having a conversation. We're about 2 hours into the conversation, and it's been just, back and forth. Occasionally there will be a little pause here or there. And dude, I don't know how to explain this, right? But behind my house, we have like these, a little patch of woods, and it's just pitch black.
Yeah.
So at some point, 2 hours into the conversation, we're chilling there. There's a little brief moment of silence, and we hadn't been hearing anything else outside during the time. And all we heard was, Neep. And then Greg looks at...
Wait, for real?
Yes. And Greg looks at me and goes, did that just say Nate? And I was like, because I heard it too, though. And then it was like...
Just from the darkness?
From the darkness, like a squeaky voice that was like, Nate? Or something like that. Greg, you got... Do it. Do it. What'd you hear? You heard it? It was like... Yeah. Yeah, bro. And... Because I didn't even know what it came from. Like, what even makes that? Yeah, it was like that, dude.
Bro, no.
And then, so we were like,
that's a skinwalker,
oh, no, we're
bro.
out of here, bro. And we went straight in the house. I locked the door.
You're talking about this house?
Bro, this was like 2 weeks ago.
Bro, no
Yeah, bro,
way.
I don't know what it was,
What was
though.
on the other side of that voice?
I don't know.
It's a skinwalker for sure.
Bro, you ever scared anybody before?
It was my friend, bro. I was at his house. Him and his brother, crazy enough, him and his brother were sitting on the back porch, right? I was in the darkness, and I know his name, and I was like, Nate!
You really had me hooked.
I just bring it back around. It's like it was me the whole time. And then I sprinted towards them.
Yeah, on the door.
No, tell me what's up. When did you scare
No, this one
someone?
has a cool little thing to it too, a little twist. But I had this neighbor, my next door neighbor. His name was Blake, and he used to play with these fake snakes all the time in his yard, and he would like throw them into trees and stuff like that. And
Funny.
yeah, one day we're over playing basketball at my house, shooting hoops, and I noticed in the grass that one of his fake snakes was over there. And so I'm like, all right, like I'm devising a plan. So like I'm shooting or whatever, but then I like pass him the ball, and I'm like, oh yeah, just take a couple practice shots or something. And so I go over to where it's at, and I grab it in the middle, and I throw it at him because I'm like, I'm trying to scare him because like,
Nate was bullying this man.
what he's gonna think is like, he's like, yo, he just threw a snake at me. So I
Right,
thought that would
right.
be hilarious. And he moved out of the way, and he made a scream, kind of like,
No, he didn't.
it didn't sound like that.
It was
but-
him. He was getting you back.
yeah. Nah, but bro, the snake landed and it started slithering.
Wait, hold up. The snake was real?
Bro, it was a huge snake too. And I listen.
Wait,
And
so you
at
just
the
picked up a
point
snake and tossed it?
bro, at the point that I saw it slithering, I was like, it scared me because then I'm like, I realized what I just did, and so I was like, oh my goodness.
And Blake was like, bro, why'd you throw that at me? It's like, it was a real snake.
Honestly, I don't even remember how his reaction was after that because I was just like, what the heck?
Also, you just had it in your hand.
Yeah, and also you're supposed to grab a snake. Like if you were actually gonna grab a real snake, you grab it by its head.
Right.
But I picked that joint up right in the middle. And it was like it was a black king snake. It was probably like this big.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, that's pretty harmless. But still, it's still
I mean,
terrifying.
I
But
mean, still,
right.
yeah. But yeah, dog. I should have guessed that. I don't know why I had just assumed that it wasn't real. It was just because of the context of
Yeah.
occasionally his snakes would be in my yard. But there was a crack in our pavement in the at the old house,
Yeah.
and like snakes sometimes would get under there. So occasionally we would actually see a real snake over there. But for whatever reason, this time I was like, oh, I'm gonna get him with his own fake snake. To
Right,
get,
right,
you know.
right. And you tossed a real snake
Yeah.
at him. That's wild.
I got one more time.
Imagine if it landed and wrapped around his neck. What would you have done then?
and it bit him in his face, and he goes.
And he turned into a snake, man. It's like just the dumbest stories. What can we come up with?
All right, I got one more time that I scared him.
Okay,
And
the
here's
same
the thing.
dude.
Yes. Listen though, it's not that I was singling him out specifically. It was just that he just happened to be in the right place, right time. Because like, you know what I'm saying, occasionally I would just do stuff.
Man, Nate.
Okay, so in my back door, he's the next door neighbor, so there was this back door area that kind of opened up to the side of his house.
Yeah.
And it had a 3x3 window pane on it, right? So it's got the dividers. And I was in the basement. And so in the basement, it was pitch black in there. And I noticed, I think I was watching like The Walking Dead or something. And I noticed that he was outside on his porch. It looked like he was looking for something. So I'm like, okay,
Like,
bet.
bro, I just can't picture you as a kid just like, I'm watching The Walking Dead and I just looked out the window and noticed a kid doing life. What can I do?
I noticed you
man?
walking on the back porch, and so I was like, I got just the thing. And so I went in my closet and I got this old demon mask that I wore for Halloween, bro. And so I put it on and I stood with my face just in the center circle. Now, here's the thing. It was dark inside, so you can't see anything, except there was a light outside the door. So if I pushed my face close enough to the window, the light caught the face of the mask. So I just stared at him, bro. And after about a minute, he looked over, he noticed me, he screamed and sprinted inside.
He said, look, a demon was coming outside your house.
No, it was just like, there was just a demon looking at him.
That's terrifying.
From his next door neighbor's house.
Also, there's no like, because he didn't expect.
I never told him.
Bro, it's crazy.
So
I
he
actually
just
tells more
doesn't
about him
know,
that he
bro.
didn't come over and be like, hey, bro, I think your house is demonically possessed.
I know, come on, bro, help me.
No, it's funny though because he's just doing something. He didn't expect to be. No one expects to be scared.
Exactly.
But
bro.
also but even more so, there's another layer. It's like I don't look over and assume that's a demon mask.
Right.
I go, oh, that's just a demon. or something like that.
Yes. Well, I think what also makes it funny is like sometimes you get scared by something that you realize wasn't the thing that you thought it was.
Yeah.
But this was just the thing you thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Like he looked over and saw a fully articulated demon's face.
Yeah,
staring at him from the window.
I'll pass.
Anyway,
pass on that.
sorry,
Funny,
sorry,
bro.
Blake. But
Where's Blake now?
I don't know. Wait. Ooh,
There's
hey, we got a storm.
Thunderstorm
We got a storm
coming right outside.
I have one more quick story. I think you might have been with me on this one, or I told you about it. So you know how sometimes we pull up in cars next to people, and I'll just go out the window and I'll just go, bah.
Right. It's hilarious.
I just thought it was funny because it's like, people that scream outside of cars, a lot of time they're just like yelling or whatever.
Forrest,
I
run,
think
or
there's just something
something.
funny about doing a really unfamiliar weird noise.
Bah.
But it, yeah.
Bah. Bah.
So anyway, look, dude, there was this old man that I pulled up on at one point, bro, and I did that to him, bro, and he freaked out. And I'm not doing it loud. It was, if you hear something that your brain cannot recognize what it is,
yeah,
it like short circuits.
Exactly.
And I've scared two people
Is that
like
what
that.
you did?
I'm not even doing it to scare them. I just think it's funny to just go, because most people just ignore it or see it and laugh or like look,
I got confused.
Yeah, but it had an unexpected consequence there. But yeah, dude.
Yeah, what's the story that
joke was
man
so
went and
funny.
told his wife and grandkids after that?
Also, that's got to be a horrible story. This one time, I heard, bah, bah, bah.
They go. His wife goes, maybe you just heard a chicken. He goes, oh. He goes, my bad. What's for dinner?
It scared him that bad. Oh
So
my
dumb, bro.
goodness. Anyway, dude,
What
scary
are we
hours.
gonna do, bro? I can't wait for the Halloween episode, bro. We gotta do something special.
We got to do something spooky.
We about to enter spooky hour.
We're about to get into spooky mode.
It's spooky hour at the Thickest Thieves podcast. It's like so dumb.
That's how we do the intro. I don't get spooked easily.
Honestly, though, shout out to Creeps and Crimes podcast. We shot their
Let's
their
go.
launch for season 3, and they're about to enter the season 4 soon. So
Let's go. Hey,
shout out to podcasts.
Turn up.
They really know what spooky hour is.
You want to know something really spooky?
What?
Taylor Swift's making too much damn money, bruh. Her tour is poised to gross over $1 billion, which will be the highest grossing tour of all time.
Oh, for real? What's below that? Or what's above that?
I
right
think
now?
Elton John maybe
That makes sense.
might be below that.
Dude, Taylor Swift fans are like, I mean, it is literally like Michael Jackson for women.
Yeah,
That's
white
wild
women.
to me. White women specifically,
Yeah.
but that's the majority.
Let's go.
If you want to get any
Hey,
demographic,
if you corner the whole market, baby.
for real, dude, Taylor Swift
That's
though
their-
is like kind of, she's remarkable in so many ways. Like, she does. I always categorize her as the Drake of pop, or because she does dabble into different genres. She had folk, she had pop, she had
Remember
country.
she had Kendrick on Bad Blood?
Kendrick track. Yeah,
It was on the Bad Blood remix, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Like
crazy.
that, it's just like she's so. I don't give her dues because I don't listen to her music like that.
Yeah.
I've listened to a couple albums which I think
Yeah.
are good, like the folk ones. I thought they were good, but I just think she's such an impressive character, and it doesn't surprise me at all that she's gone on tour doing $1 billion.
Yeah.
It doesn't impress me. I mean,
Well,
not
I
impress me.
am, because I'm not in that world or I don't listen to her music in that way, it is crazy to see the sheer size of that. Like, because I'm not a part of that fandom, sonically, all of her music sounds good. She's not the craziest vocalist ever, but she layers the vocals in a cool way. Her music is catchy. Songwriting's really good. But I think it comes down to that deeper level, because a lot of her music speaks to like insecurity or feeling heartbroken over a particular.
Relationships,
Yes, but it's done in a way that I think people really relate to that are into her music. In the same way that J. Cole has created that depth of a fan by, Love Yours is a crazy record where
Beautiful song. Yeah.
Crooked Smile, you know what I'm saying? These
Yeah.
conceptual records that became really big and really, I think that Taylor Swift's music does that for people.
You're right. You're so right. And we have to give some respect to her singer-songwriter. Her writing is like
Oh yeah.
is wild, dude.
Goes dumb.
Now I'm sure she has a lot of people on her team.
She does write a lot of her own
I-
music though, bro.
Dude, I will say this. She does.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad
yeah.
you said that because I used to have a reaction channel, and
She's
one time
credentialed.
I did like a. It was called, I think it was called Man or The Man. She had a song and video about that, and I was like, the video was incredible. But I gave props to her team one time on one of the videos, and people in the comments were like, it's just like a dude to like not give her props where because it said she directed it, and I was like, I'm sure she directed it and did a great job, but there's a lot more elements to making a movie.
Yes.
And I just want to say, because I just said a good shout out to her team. She has a team. Am I not supposed to?
No.
Shout out to her team.
You're valid in that.
I'm like,
You're
come on,
valid in
bro.
that.
But nah, she is. Her dues are. I mean, has the utmost respect because I did not know she wrote all of her songs.
I don't
or
know if
most
she.
of her
I mean,
songs.
I know that she started out first as like a songwriter, but yeah, I think
incredible.
she writes a lot of them. I mean, we could literally check who writes and produces on some of those records. But
Oh,
dude,
yeah, on Spotify
let me
and stuff.
tell you about some more about this money, bro. It's not just the fact that her ticket sales are going stupid, but the average ticket sale ticket price was $1,300 for this tour, bro.
No.
That's
Who's paying
that's
that,
a
bro?
lot of
Her
money.
fans are paying $1,300.
$1,300 on average per ticket. Now I'm sure that a lot of that is skewed upwards by the VIP packages or whatever.
How long is the show? Typically, like a couple hours.
It's probably 2 hours.
Oh
Close to
my
2
gosh.
hours. Yeah.
So if you want to get in the nosebleeds, that's like the regular, like.
Nosebleeds, you could probably get tickets for like probably $600-700.
What?
Yeah, dude. Concerts are going crazy, bro. The demand, and what's crazy is she's playing like the biggest venues. It's not like they
Did
can
she
just
come to Nashville and do Nissan
probably. I think
and Bridgestone? She probably did them
I don't
both.
know. Well, she did 6 shows in LA and brought and lifted their economy $320 million of new money into the hospitality. Yeah,
Talk about leverage, bro.
Yeah, no, in Philadelphia, the Federal Reserve said that they had the highest spike in hotel revenue since the pandemic. Philadelphia
They need to
reported
give her
that.
a couple shares of that.
I know. Taylor Swift, the T Swift effect, was out here just elevating all of these local economies. She was boosting the economy, bro, by bringing her show to the cities that she went to. It's crazy.
Taylor Swift is American, patriotic citizen.
She's a hero. You know what? Look, I got no bad things to say about Taylor Swift, bro. She's killing it. And honestly, we might need to just go see the tour for the culture.
Honestly, though, like, 1,300
on the business card.
1,300 on the business card.
Although we might have to do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say no to that. But if they do a live stream like they did for MGK at Bonnaroo,
Oh, yeah.
I'll watch it because I'm sure
yeah.
her shows are incredible.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned to me that Taylor Swift, when you look at her top songs over 100 million streams, that she is the highest in percentage with no features, right? So 97% of her songs have no features.
Yes.
And it's,
97, yeah,
that what it is?
97% of her songs with over 100 million streams have no features. Or that she's not featured on someone else's song. It's more about her doing features, but also people featuring on her song.
dang. So what does that compare to like Drake or The Weeknd or something?
Well, I think the other people that were listed in this chart that I looked at, I think Drake was something around like 67% of the songs that he has over 100
Oh,
million
she's an
streams.
anomaly.
Yeah. The Weeknd was like somewhere around that as well. Bad Bunny, I think, had the lowest percentage of like 53%. Only 53% of his songs were solo.
He's a big feature artist too, though. He's such a great
Right.
feature. Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
I think that definitely speaks to how big Taylor Swift is as an artist because,
And bread.
yes.
Her bread is
and
different.
bread too, for sure. But like, think about, it's a strategy to be featured on someone else's song. I mean, it's marketing.
Right.
And like, think about the features that Bad Bunny, Drake, and stuff are doing. They're doing features on the other artists who are huge. And Taylor Swift
Yeah.
has all of this success and all these songs over 100 million streams, and 97% of those are solo records, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, you know what though? Honestly, bro, I might have to just come up though and take her spot. You feel me? Curious George.
bro.
Curious George. Egos.
Please, dude.
Chess. Self-produced. One person on that record. All three of them.
That's true, bro. I mean,
What else?
It's true.
That's just what it is.
Please do that. Please take us all off. I think me, Leaky, and Greg will both
Be very happy
we'll get on
if you get-
if you do that, bro, we'll get on our knees and I won't personally worship you, but I'll definitely get on my knees and be like, yo, thanks, Nate.
Wow.
What can I do for you? You just go,
Like,
just keep shooting videos.
You can
bro.
be my butler.
I'll go, no.
Like, I'm not doing that.
I'll go, what's my salary is the question I ask. And if you're doing Taylor Swift numbers and you're like, 300K, then I'll happily put on that butler suit and
Let's go.
straight
Hey, let's go.
hop into action.
Let's go.
What can I get for you, sir?
That's crazy. That's crazy. you got the whole fit on and everything. You're a bellhop.
Bro, imagine that, Leaky and Greg, if like Nate makes it big and like y'all are just working on his stuff and then I'm coming up, pulling up like carne asada and like just dishes, bro, and I have a butler's outfit on. And y'all just giggling at me as I pull up. Y'all not even, but it's worse because y'all aren't acknowledging
That'd be
it.
so out of pocket.
I'm
That'd be
just
so out
coming
of
to the
pocket.
table and y'all are just looking and going,
I would be like, David, where did your self-respect go?
We go. You still
I
doing
go,
that?
my self-respect went to my wallet. Thank you, ma'am.
You still doing that little camera thing?
I'm gonna go, and when you say that, if you're paying me good, I'm gonna go, yes, sir, I am. What would you like as a side? My salary is 300K.
Hey, okay. Hey, turn up, bro. Hey, me too, honestly. Let's go. Let's go.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, Taylor Swift's killing it, dog. I don't even know what to say.
No, I really want to. This is something we can explore later on.
Yes.
I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying something like this, but what if we did some reaction videos here on the podcast for the YouTube viewers? What if we did it
we
a couple
could do.
times? Me
We
and
could
Nate
do
did
that.
a little throwback about me and Nate is we did a reaction video together. Remember that? NF at my old apartment?
Yeah, we did a series of 3. We did NF and I forgot the other
Tom
two
McDonald.
that we did. We didn't do
No,
Tom
that was
McDonald.
Bennett. That was
Bennett did a reaction to Tom
yeah,
McDonald.
that's what me one time. It was NF, Dax, and
I
somebody
didn't
else.
do a Dax video either. I don't.
What? See, Nate,
I
I'm
didn't. I
supposed to
didn't
be thick
react
as
to
thieves,
Dax.
but I remember all of them.
I didn't react to Dax, bro. It was a girl singing and she was in a corridor.
Wouldn't it be kind of fun though if we were like, oh, I remember that now.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot her name.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Try to
wouldn't it
sun
be
me.
fun though if like we did a reaction little thing, something sound a little side? We'll just think about it. Maybe not. This is a podcast.
Potentially, but if we want to monetize this,
That's true.
you trying to get bread for our company or you just trying to waste my time?
I'm trying to get views because views turn
Views
into bread.
I've been thinking about, so IQ, IQ, EQ, and
First of all, what is your IQ?
my IQ, I mean, probably below a 10. Probably like 9.
My IQ is so low, I don't even know what that means.
No, okay, so IQ, EQ, and knowledge. And if you're thinking about how smart somebody is, I'm wondering what that trifecta, like what the percentage of that is. Because, okay, so IQ, you're basically born with your IQ and it can vary by a few points up or down based on your circumstances. But as you know, knowledge can be gained through reading books or studying or whatever.
Sure.
And so, in terms of your perception of how smart you are, or I think it's how actually smart you are, if I'm using smart as a combination of these elements, like how much does that interplay? Like where's the potential limit, And what kind of brought me to think about this, or there were 2 things. I was listening to one of my favorite podcasters, and it's clear he has very high IQ and high processing speeds, but he said that he reads 3 to 5 books a week. And I'm like, 3 to 5 books a week? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's been doing that for like the past decade.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I read like a book every 3 months.
Right.
And usually half of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, and that's not to say I'm not learning anything, but books are like a very systematic way of learning something because it's been revised over and over. You
Sure.
say exactly what you want to say
Right.
and try not to have a ton of fat. And so that was one thing where I'm like, okay, well, I perceive him as being very smart, and he does for sure still have a very high IQ. But I look at your IQ as being your raw processing power and ability to connect disparate ideas. So ideas that don't necessarily have anything to do with each other. You kind of make a connection between them and you pull that together into some kind of belief or worldview or
Sure.
concept or invention or whatever. And then education or knowledge are like the nodes, the number of nodes that you have to pull from. So, and if you're somebody that has high knowledge and low IQ, then you just know a bunch of facts. But
Right.
but they don't mean anything in terms of being useful. They're
I know
just
what you mean,
right.
yeah.
But if you have a high IQ and no inputs, then you can solve problems and whatever. But like you're severely limited in your potential.
Which a lot of people probably do. There's a lot of people who probably do have a high IQ, but
Yeah.
haven't had opportunities to plug in those nodes.
For sure, for sure. Or not even just
see that often,
not even just the opportunity, but even just taking the initiative to commit
high
yourself.
IQ doesn't mean execution.
Yeah, ambition and discipline and those types of things. And so anyway, I started to think about that, and then there was one more little thing that made me relate it to myself. As I was listening to a podcast with Michael Shermer and Paul Bloom, and a lot of times in these conversations, I'm understanding what they're saying, but I don't get the references. So they're like, "Oh yeah, that's the classic Schrodinger equation," or this is and I'm like I can contextually kind of understand what they're talking about because of the context of the conversation, but I don't. I haven't read this particular book, or I'm not familiar with that person's body of work. But they got to a book that I had read, and I was like, oh, I know what they're talking about. I've read this book. Oh, they're talking about a book I know, sick. And it didn't, when it came to that, I was like, oh, well, that doesn't feel like the rest of this conversation has felt, where I'm kind of like piecing it together. This was like, oh, I know exactly what they're talking about. And I was like, well, that's just one book. What if I had read
all those books?
Yeah, if I had read all those books, how much better would I understand this conversation from these two really smart people?
And then being able to process it and take something new from the conversation.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Right.
So anyway, it's more like my question is more around how weighted IQ and knowledge are. Where's your limit? There's
EQ. I feel like EQ. And tell me if you disagree.
Go ahead.
But I haven't thought about this enough, but I feel like EQ does also kind of embody the ideas of ambition and discipline to a certain extent.
I think it could. I think more about just relating to people, being able to communicate, having really strong communication. And I think what undergirds EQ too is altruism or something like that.
Okay.
Where I feel like if you are strong in EQ, I feel like the people that have the strongest EQ are actually really, really genuine, good people.
Sure.
At the core, have figured out most of the things.
So you think EQ is kind of synonymous with how you interact with the people around you?
Yes, but it's also just understanding people. We've met a lot of different people through our video work, and sometimes we come across people that are the owners of companies or whatever, and sometimes it's like, wow, this person is awesome. They really they didn't make me feel a type of way. I might as well have been his best friend and we never met.
Right.
And they have this infectious.
Josh Wolf
is one,
right.
for sure. But this they're infectious. And they make you feel great. And you've also been around people who seemingly have a high IQ, but they're not.
They're successful, have a high IQ, they seem to have a knowledge, but are just really tapped out on what it means to be social. A social clarity is lack of social clarity kind of is one of the signs of a low EQ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Remember that time we went on that shoot and that guy in Chattanooga, and that guy's dad was inviting the other dude's girlfriend down to come.
Oh
sit.
yeah, that was crazy.
He was successful.
That was crazy.
No, I knew. So the question is.
Well,
how do you think
it's more. I don't have my actual question is how. I'm interested to hear what you think of how you think those three might be related. If we're talking about smartness as a definition that encompasses the combination of those three, what's the weighting? And if you have a predetermined IQ, how much gap can you bridge by becoming educated? So I think there's limits. If you take someone of average intelligence, it doesn't matter how many books they read on theoretical physics, they're never going to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? But
an IQ is the least variable, right?
It's it's the one that you're born. And IQ is just raw problem solving abilities. A lot of IQ tests are deductive reasoning, or they'll take a shape, a 3-dimensional shape, printed on a 2-dimensional paper, and you have to, based on that, pick what the shape would look like from a different perspective, and so that's part of there's no knowledge required. Everybody's looking at this. What does it look like from another perspective? You don't have to have any prerequisite knowledge to do that, but it's all about your ability to, I guess, think abstractly, solve problems, you know, and then that's more like the raw thing, you know, but...
I think about mathematics. I just watched Oppenheimer again last night, and I was seeing how, I mean, obviously it's a movie, so they probably sped it up a little bit, but seeing how these dudes were doing math equations, and at the speed they were able to analyze whether that was wrong or right just by looking at the page. It's like I was like, they're viewing these. Now, obviously, these people have been doing math for a large portion of their life, but they're looking at these problems from a whole different point of view. I look at it and I go, "What is that?"
Yeah.
But like, so obviously, I mean, those dudes. If you worked on the Los Alamos or Manhattan, you worked at Los Alamos or the Manhattan Project, you definitely have an higher IQ than David Piersaul. Trust me. But it's like,
Same.
you know what I mean? It's like, but it's.
I
like,
don't know, bro.
What?
I don't know, bro. You might have a higher IQ than Oppenheimer or Einstein.
Well, he learned 6
You've never
languages.
taken a test, have you?
He learned Dutch in less than 6 months, and I'm still learning Spanish, and I'm about a year and a half in. So I don't think, and that's Dutch is like, I mean, Spanish is like Latin root, like English. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I think there's people in my life, people I know who know a lot about things and can make a very successful life, a very fulfilled life out of having a low IQ, but being ambitious enough to do certain things. Say, for instance, like you're a construction worker, which doesn't take, you know what I mean? You might not be the manager, you might not be the project manager or the engineer, but you can lead these people in a certain way. You can be the, I don't know, head of construction, I don't know, but like they can lead these people in a certain way just because their drive is outrageous.
Well, the drive is them doing the thing and gaining the knowledge of the thing.
Right.
So they've built enough A-frames or enough, or, you know...
Buildings and period, yeah.
Yeah, that they are the expert in that. Like, you could bring in someone with a high IQ that's never built a house before, and this person is going to be...
I guess the question is, like, say you have two people with the same drive in construction, and one's IQ is much higher than the others. That's where...
Oh, yeah, the person with the high IQ
right.
definitely is going to be ahead.
Do you think Christopher Nolan has a high IQ? I feel like he for sure does.
Yeah, no way. No way.
That's what I'm saying.
No
It's
way
like
he
it's kind of
doesn't.
scary to think about that because it is the least variable, so it's like, you know, it's harder to change your IQ, which is like, okay, are you set in stone for what you're going to be able to do in terms of like in your field?
I think you are, but it's like, that's only one. It depends on the weighting. So like if IQ makes up 90% of the pie, and you only have, and education is only going to help you bridge, you know, is only part of this 10%. You know what I'm saying? Then, yeah, you know, you might be really selling yourself short by even attempting to do something. But I actually think that the education really comes into play because I think even your average IQ person is able to make connections between different things, and if they are exposed to more things, like especially in a regimented way, or you know, if you want to learn about a particular subject, you focus solely on that subject and all the little like side disciplines that splinter out from that. And if that's all you focus on, I think you could go really, really far.
Truly, yeah,
you know?
I agree.
And I don't think that, now I think there are limits. Like I said, I don't think, you know, someone even with a pretty high IQ, but not like a nearing genius level IQ, could be a mathematician that, you know what I'm saying? I almost feel like there are certain skills that at the highest level, almost all of those people are like autistic, where they have a very, very narrow, high IQ, like, you know what I'm saying? And their brain just works in a different way. But I don't know. I just think it's an interesting thing because it's like, okay, like, because it comes to questions of what is your potential, and the reason also it was interesting to me is because prior to that, I thought IQ was weighted way more in the sense of, I thought it was like, oh yeah, of course this person comes off this smart because they have a high IQ.
Right.
But then I was like, well, it could also be that, I mean, the fact that they have gained all this knowledge, you know what I'm saying? That contributes to that. I think the most successful, smartest people ever have both of those at the highest degree.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Elon Musk of the
Elon
world.
Musk, Einstein, any of these people,
Oppenheimers.
those are people who have the raw IQ, and they're very well read, and they're on the cusp of everything, and they're constantly consuming. So that's you 100%. Like 100% of those people are high IQ, high education. But I don't know. I just think it's
It's an interesting conversation, and it's hard to. Who was it that did that? I have no interest in this conversation, but I think it's crazy that someone did it. And I was listening to Sam Harris talk about it, which was the correlation between race and IQ. Who was that? He published that book.
Guy's name? I've heard Sam Harris talk about him too.
I forgot his name, but that's a wild book. But his argument was that, like, can we look at the science? Mm-hmm. So I'm curious about. I actually want to read it because I think it'd be interesting to learn the science behind it. Sam Harris was just like, I have no interest in having this conversation.
Yeah, I think what happens if you get into a race IQ conversation. So I think why those types of things get murkier. Say you were to do it on a gender basis or anything. Yeah. Where the conclusions. I think it's very easy to take IQ for more than it is. You know, so if you if you look
That's a good point. Yeah.
If you look at if your worldview looks at people as what makes us better than
IQ,
you know, animals is just IQ, how smart we are. And if we were to look at groups of people and be like, this group has a higher IQ than this group, then it's easy for someone to just overrepresent that in terms of just being like, yeah, well, this is a superiority thing.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why you gotta be careful with that.
So it's like I think it only. Yeah, I don't think IQ makes up. I don't think that has anything to do. I'm sure you don't either as a Christian.
I don't.
I don't think IQ has anything to do with the worth of a person.
It doesn't define a person in totality at all.
No, but
I agree.
But I think that's why it becomes really, really murky territory, because then everybody just reads different things into stuff like that.
They grab onto it. They grab onto a concept and go, ooh.
Yeah. It's crazy. Anyway,
I need to take an IQ test.
I've never taken an IQ test.
Either.
I took an exit exam at college. It was kind of like an IQ test, but I've never taken like a legit.
I think my IQ is like 250 or something.
250. You're like 50 points over the highest recorded ever. Now I was watching. There's this guy that he's an American. His name's Chris Langan, and he's supposed to have the highest recorded IQ in U.S. history, and he has a. I was watching some of his videos. Some people think he's a fraud, but he has a theory of everything called the CTMU, and it's pretty heady stuff. But he believes in God, and he believes in. I don't know if I don't know if it's the Christian God. I think there actually are a lot of philosophers and stuff that believe in God, but they don't believe in the personal God. They believe in a creator, but not a creator that has a relationship with humans in a direct way. So, but I didn't even know I didn't even think about the fact that there's philosophers and scientists out there that have that perspective. You know, so man, there's a lot of interesting stuff out there, bro.
It's it's so interesting, and sometimes I feel like what doesn't get talked about enough in like the art world is like how much art was inspired by God. We're talking about some of the greatest, Da Vinci, obviously, he made the Last Supper, one of his greatest paintings of all time.
Yeah.
Michelangelo, Sistine Chapel. Bach, multiple times devoted a lot of his music to God. It's wild to think about these things and that these people were godly men and that this being that they all had an experience with, whether it be the same being or not, they just had an experience with some divine, superior caricature. And we're able to just be like, I'm going to make this art around it. There's something there. It's crazy to think about. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Well, even modern science was kind of birthed out of those questions. I read something in one of these books that I was reading, and I thought this was pretty interesting, that philosophy, basically all science started out as philosophy, because before we had explanations, we had theories. And so what happened with philosophy is okay, we had astronomy used to be just, we're philosophizing about the stars and, what this means and how things might work. And right. And then we're able to observe things, and it breaks off in its own sect of science. And I'm reading a book called, what's this book I'm reading right now? The Beginning of Infinity. And I just started. I think I'm like 60 pages in, but he's talking about theories come before observation, and that we need, or he's saying explanations. Sure. So we need. it's not that you have a bunch of data and then you explain it. It's that you have explanations first, and then you go and try to prove those explanations by seeking. You have to have a direction for seeking a particular thing.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Did he give any examples in the first 60 pages? I'm curious in that.
Well, I mean, astronomy, I think, was one of those.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember if it was in that book or another book. I'm reading a lot of stuff that's kind of like dealing with similar themes, so they kind of get a little mixed up. But astronomy or like Darwinism or there's elements of biology probably, but I think basically everything is started from that explanation first, and then you go search for it. So a lot of times, I mean, scientists they're
You say explanation first in regards to like say something like Darwinism, for example. It's explanation first is that we evolved from animals, and then they search for the evidence. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, essentially. Okay. Yeah, they have. But because
we
also
from a eukaryote or something.
Yeah.
And
well, I was gonna say also you have to have a direction in which you're researching. Like you can't just do it. Like what are you doing an experiment for? To collect data. Yeah. Like we're not just out here just like, I could go over to this railing and pour salt onto it because I want to see if there's any data about a chemical reaction between those two things. But what's the purpose? And like I know
the purpose of Darwinism would be to figure out the beginning of the human species.
Right. So somebody had a theory about it, and then they were able to go and observe variations in genes with different animals and things like that. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting because I do think that sometimes we think of it the opposite way, where it's like you see the data and then now you have an idea of what that means. And it's almost like an explanation data, and if the data proves your explanation wrong, then you have new explanation, and then you test that out.
It's like you start with one line, and it's like a timeline that pops off in different
I thought that was cool, and I thought it was cool that philosophy has broken off into science a bunch of times, and there's still stuff that's in the realm of philosophy until we're able to bring it into a science where
who is the famous philosopher who is? I mean, I think there's a couple, but who kind of sparked the ideas of astronomy? What's his name?
Are you talking about Galileo?
Yeah, Galileo. That's what I'm talking about. He was a philosopher.
He invented the telescope,
right? Wasn't he a philosopher first? And then,
a lot of those dudes are historically like polymaths, which is like they have like they're experts in a lot of different fields. Like look at somebody like Aristotle or Plato or
that makes sense.
Or Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah,
that man was an inventor,
painter,
scientist.
Doctor,
people considered him a scientist more than an artist.
That's crazy to think about. Yeah,
which is wild.
He's just studying human bodies.
Yeah,
dice. He was like doing what do you call him?
He invented a tank, bruh.
What?
He had a. So what I read about Leonardo da Vinci is that he wasn't fully integrated into the mainstream scientific community. And basically every scientist, it seems like, that has discovered anything worthwhile, they had to have an opinion that was different from what everybody else thought until they proved it and said, hey, look at this. And then eventually they come around to the idea.
Right.
And so I think Da Vinci was so smart and so probably quirky and whatever that he was kind of more or less on the outskirts of that, but he was inventing stuff all the time. Like he has... saw like hang gliders and all kinds of things, but he had a model built of a
hidden blade,
a prototype for a tank, which was basically it was a mobile moving unit with cannons that were behind a wall. It was a 360 degree like cannons around the entire thing.
Oh, he wanted a mobile that had multiple cannons on it.
Yeah, that could move, and basically you could.
He was building a super tank.
Yeah, bro.
Before tanks were invented.
Yeah. So I mean, like that dude was on some different Tesla. Anyway, these dudes have. So it's hard to even know. Like, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, even today, your smartest people today. Look at Elon Musk. I mean, he's
doing it different.
He has a space company, and he's also working on Neuralink, which is
the chip.
Yeah.
Tostitos.
So that dips in. Oh, he also was a co-founder of ChatGPT with Sam Altman.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, so he has a breadth of knowledge on AI. He knows about biology,
we're forgetting
neuroscience. Yeah, Tesla.
Electric cars.
Electric cars, Boring Company.
Flamethrowers. He's changing the world.
Yeah, but digging tunnels.
Right. Is that Boring Company?
Yeah.
Got you. That's the super tunnel thing.
Yeah.
He's doing.
Now he's got social media, which I mean, but
So he believes social media is like affecting people's lives though. So it's like to him it is important.
But I'm saying he has this like it's, and you have a lot of smart people today that are podcasters, authors, and they scientists, and they are a professor at this university. So they do a lot of stuff like that. So they're not.
Bro, this is interesting. We got to continue this on another podcast. This conversation.
What about smart people?
No, just in general, IQ and people like Da Vinci. I know we've talked about just remarkable people throughout history.
I love that.
They were doing different things, bro.
Yes.
Da Vinci they were doing but I don't see any modern art that looks like Da Vinci's art or Michelangelo's art. Like
it's crazy.
At that time, bro. This man just was on a rafter just like painting the ceiling of the
Didn't it take like 6 months?
A long time.
Just to paint that? That's crazy.
It took 6 hours, I heard, actually.
I think it like permanently injured him.
Oh, really?
His back?
Yeah, like for the rest
Damn.
Dang,
That's
dude.
horrible.
Is that it for this one?
I think that's it, bro.
Dang, dude.
Good podcast episode. That thing is the devil.
Is the period cramp making the shelf? Actually, you know what? No.
That thing is too dangerous,
Yeah,
bro.
I feel like it might shock
All right,
Dwayne
gang.
back here.
Thick as Thieves podcast. Back at it again, baby.
We back at it.
Yeah, baby, need top 5 when I'm done going mental. Yeah, I'm locked in, you can peep my condition in the lab all winter, all summer. Yeah, I went dumb, now I'm about to go